Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to do a tune on the Irish mandolin called Elizabeth Kelly's Delight. Before we start, I just want to say a big thank you to all of my supporters on Patreon. There's over 450 at the moment, which is amazing. And thank you so much because it allows me to continue to do all of this, make wonderful content, play music, teach, which I really enjoy. So I hope that you're getting great benefit from what I'm doing. I'd love to hear in the comments about the content that I'm making, and if you like this and you want more, make sure to hit that subscribe and like button. Today we're going to learn a slip jig on the Irish mandolin. This one is called Elizabeth Kelly's Delight. It's also known as Evenes Eilish Ní Ceallaigh, which is Gaelic for Elizabeth Kelly's Delight, and that's how Lunasa recorded it, and this is the version that we're going to look at today. The Elizabeth Kelly, referenced in the name of the tune, is a mother of John Kelly Sr. Now, John Kelly Sr. wasn't known to me, but his two sons, John Kelly Jr. and James Kelly, are definitely of my vintage in a sense that when I went to Milltown Malbay as a kid, they didn't have any banjo classes, so I reluctantly took lots of fiddle classes, and I was terrible. But James and John were regular instructors and teachers at the Willie Clancy Summer School, so Elizabeth would have been their grandmother. The tune was originally collected by Brendan Brannock in the key of A minor, or maybe A Dorian. That's a new one. I just said that and I don't really know what it means. Lunasa recorded this a string higher for us banjo and mandolin players that are playing in fifths, and it's in the key of E minor or E Dorian. If you're on Patreon, you just head on straight and learn the simple version of the tune. That will be up there. For this, we're going to look at slip jig rhythm. We're going to have play along tracks and some ornamentation. So here's the tune at 120 BPM, the way that I would play it. So here's a version with a little bit of pace and some simple ornamentation. So there's nothing complicated there. The triplets and the picking for slip jigs, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, absolutely works. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. The one thing I would say is that probably will benefit you to hit a downstroke on the one of each nine, so the first note of the bar, because that's the tricky bit with slip jigs, especially one like this that, although it's simple, it does kind of rotate around itself a lot. And so it's easy to get maybe lost in the rhythm. And so definitely reaching out and making sure that you're coming down on the first note of each bar will keep you lined up nicely. Here's a version, ornamentation, and there's a couple of opportunities for little pull-offs on the left hand. a pretty short lesson, I think. So let's do one round of the tune and maybe try and find a couple of interesting variations. All right, that's a little short, simple lesson for Elizabeth Kelly's Delight on the Mandolin. Nothing tricky in this, but this is a beautiful tune, well worth learning. Now, if you're in a session and somebody starts playing this in the key of A minor and you're after learning it in the key of E minor, the original tune is in A minor. It's just drop it down a note, a string. Exact same fingering, just a string down melodically, a string up toward your face. Always confusing. Anyway, if you enjoy this kind of content, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and definitely drop a comment. And if you want the notation for all of this, head on over to Patreon. And a big thank you to all of my supporters on Patreon. Deeply appreciate it.